How's everybody doing, and welcome to the fish room. So we'll jump right into the video. Today we're going to talk about guppy line breeding. Really any fish, it doesn't even have to be guppies. This is going to apply to. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to look at a tank and we're going to talk about kind of the steps we're going to take over the next few months. But before we go down and look at the tank, make sure you guys like the video, hit the subscribe and the notification bell. It doesn't cost you anything, it helps me out, and you'll know for the future months to come updates on this video. We'll get a little bit closer, but this bottom right tank here is the tank we're going to focus on today. For anyone who hasn't seen the fish room, have a wall right here. Used to have a different setup, but now we're working with a lot of these already pre-made metal stands. They work out really well. We got some 20 gallons, 29s, 55s, and 10s. You don't need as many tanks to do breeding. I recommend at least having 1 to 3 tanks, being at least 10 gallons. Coming closer and looking at the tank though, we are a little bit ahead of ourselves. So if you want to line breed or you want to breed guppies from scratch, first thing you got to do, which we actually have some older videos showing this tank here, you got to have at least a pair of guppies or buy a pregnant female at a store. I put her in this drop tank, which if you want to check out that video, I'll try to put a link above. Basically it's real easy setup. You can kind of just fill it up with a lot of fake plants, live plants. I use acrylic yarn. Wait till she has her babies, then put her back into her tank or put her into like a breeder box we have in there, so the fry won't get eaten, you'll get more survive. But after that happens, you keep the babies completely by themselves, and that's where we are here today. That's kind of, I guess, the second step, but really the first step of line breeding and having a ongoing project. So in this tank, we're starting to see some males and females develop. This is the stage where you need to separate them. So the guppies can all stay together. You don't need to like individually separate every single fish. But after the fish are a few weeks old, or even the day after they're all born, get them eating a little bit, you can go ahead, remove all the acrylic yarn so you have a bare tank. Now you just have to feed the fish. I use just a crushed up flake food. If you feed baby brine shrimp, live food, frozen food, it can help them grow faster and just kind of speed it up. You also can raise the temperature in the tank, but just keeping it simple. Things that those are just extra things you can do, but it really doesn't matter. Just keep the tank clean, do your water changes, test the water so your nitrates don't get out of whack. Make sure your sponge filter is cycled. This is all basic, just aquarium stuff, not really on the breeding side. But once you have the guppies in here, they're about 2 months old. You're going to see males and females start to develop. And this is very important. Right now, we need to start separating males and females. You can go ahead and put the females in a breeder box, leave the males out in the tank, or vice versa. But basically, you just need to separate the males from the females. And then if you're not sure, I always leave unsure ones with the males. That way, if it is a male, it's fine, not a big deal. But if it turns out to be a female, you don't ruin all your females. So if you have one kind of iffy male, you don't know if it's a male or not, you put them with the females, he might actually turn out to be a male, you don't notice it for a while, and he's actually breeding with all the females, and now you have your lowest grade male breeding with all your females. And that's kind of the opposite of what we want to do whenever we are line breeding. Talking more about line breeding, all it really is to an extent is inbreeding. And there is a right way and a wrong way to inbreed fish, animals, dogs, whatever it is. This is something that, I mean, whether you think it sounds weird or not, it's the way everything works. Whenever you get a golden retriever or something, they're all line bred. They are all bred with a purpose. Same with the fish here. So whenever we are breeding the guppies, first of all, we need to have the babies born. We're all from the same parents, so you have one female, have all the babies. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to find certain characteristics that we like and things that we don't like. I'm going to try to bring them more to the light. We're going to feed them a little bit of food right here. We'll keep talking, but basically, whenever you're line breeding, you're trying to find characteristics. Like right here, we have a young male. It's kind of hard to see these guys, but he has some color in his tail. I think it looks nice. It's kind of like a leopard pattern. Good looking fish compared to the other ones, but it's still a little too early to tell. Up here, I can see another nice male. He has some cool markings on his side, but then we may have a few males that have nothing on them. They may just be too young. They're not developing yet. But we want to separate these guys today before they start to breed. We're going to have a male and a female tank, and then we're going to give them another month or so, let them put on some size, because you also may have a very colorful male, but they're not going to be as large of a fish. They may kind of be a runt, where they're really good looking with color, but they might be kind of small or weak back. So all little things you want to look for, you want to look from above. Make sure they have strong backs, they don't have any kinks in them. Look from the side, make sure that they are holding their fins right, their back doesn't kind of arch up or down. Make sure they visually have the colors you like. And also, this is something further down the road, make sure they're hardy. If you're breeding a certain strain of guppies and they keep just dying for no reason, say the babies, you lose a bunch of them, this is very rare, but say they're just very weak or they kind of swim on the bottom, certain things, maybe it's just not a good strain of guppy and it's not somewhere you want to start with. You want to start with a better guppy to begin with. But all we're doing when we're line breeding is we're enhancing any of their characteristics that they already have. So if you're breeding fish with crooked backs, the babies are going to have more crooked backs or more of them will have it. If you're breeding fish that have more red colors, you take the nicest colored red one, breed it to the nicest colored red one as well, and then you're going to make nicer red fish over time. That is a very, very simple way of putting it, but that's what it kind of boils down to. Whenever you're line breeding, you're trying to enhance their characteristics for better or worse. So that's where we come in, where we have to actually separate these males and females. If you just let this whole tank grow up and let them breed, you'll be colony breeding them to an extent in your line breeding, but you're not going to get the results you're really looking for over time. They will breed, you'll get more guppies, that's absolutely true. But whenever you're first starting a strain, that's something you kind of want to stay away from because you're going to get just a whole mix of stuff, which isn't a bad thing, but just getting back to talking about line breeding, we're doing it for a reason. We're trying to get a certain color, a certain characteristic out of our fish, and whether we already have it or not, we're trying to enhance it so it happens even more often or more vibrant. Hopefully that'll make sense, and this is a very brief intro. I would like to do stages where the next video we're actually going to take a closer look. We're going to separate the males and females. We're going to see what a male and female look like. I know that's kind of basic. Whenever they're this young, there are little things that can help you out in separating the males from females. But that's going to be the next step in this video. Today I just wanted to do a nice intro, talk about what we're going to be showing. And this is the tank. This is the exact project. We're not going to jump around. I'm going to make its own playlist. We're going to talk about line breeding guppies. And it may be a great strain of guppies where we get really cool babies. Or if we don't, I'm going to at least show you the process so you know what to expect. And hopefully we can get this done over the next few months and kind of see, it does take time and it takes patience, but if you watch this video 6 months from now, you can just watch them all in a day, which would be kind of cool as well. But yeah, we're going to separate these guppies, have our males and females. We're going to use 2 different tanks because we have the space. And then down here as well, some future videos to come. I'm going to make this a male tank and a female tank. I've done that in the past and I really like doing it. It's just a lot more time consuming. But now I'm kind of focused more so on the guppies and my bristlenose plecos and some shrimp. So I don't have as many species of fish. As you guys know, I stopped breeding the German blue rams, and they were very, very time consuming. Very fun, it was challenging, but after an extent, you're kind of just doing the same thing over and over again. It's not as enjoyable, to be honest. It was really cool, very rewarding, awesome fish, but so are the guppies, and they're always changing, which I think this is really fun, where you can see new guppies every couple months. Every 3 months you can make your own strain. After there's babies born, you grow them up and you are hand picking them like we're going to be doing here. You really have control of the outcome. So we're going to separate these males and females probably in these 2 tanks. We're going to let them grow for about another month. We're going to select our nicest females, probably about 3 to 6 nice females, and then maybe 2 to 3 males. And the rest of them, we'll keep them. We're going to sell them, or we're going to grow them up. We'll put the males in the tank, the females in the tank. They're still awesome fish. There's nothing wrong with them. But we're trying to get the best of the best from what we have without spending $80 on a trio of guppies and shipping and stuff. Sometimes that's where you got to start, but you can do this kind of basic once you have a pair of guppies and you can really work them up and build your own strain, especially if it's your first time doing it seriously, not just accidentally breeding guppies. You want to be kind of serious breeding stuff. You want to have high quality fish, and sometimes high quality fish, in my opinion, are hardy fish. So whether you have the most beautiful guppies in the world, but as soon as you sell them, they die in other people's tanks, it's kind of pointless. So you want to have hardy fish, but you also want to have colorful fish. So it's a very happy medium, and it also depends on where you live. Maybe you want to sell fish locally to your local pet store. That's going to be a lot more important than selling to other fish hobbyists online, where they have certain setups and they're a lot more experienced. For the average person who just wants some guppies, they want to pay $2 or $3, It's good to have those hardy guppies that have the nice color, and if you can have them both, that's really the goal here. So we'll kind of end on that note. We're going to have more videos to come, but go into this with a goal in mind. Don't just kind of breed them and see what happens. If you want to do that, just colony breed them. Do a tank with live plants, a lot of hiding places, feed them well, do your water changes, and then whatever you get, and it's definitely a lot of fun. But like I said, we're going to get into this series where we're going to talk about line breeding guppies, and I'm actually going to show you this strain and the progress over time. So I'm kind of excited to show you guys this. I've done this dozens of times with different strains of guppies and just repeating the process. We'll talk more in depth on it. Today I just kind of want to do a quick video. I wanted to get this idea off my mind. I wanted to make a video, talk about it. We're going to do just an intro to this. And yeah, so stay tuned for the next video. Like I said before, if you haven't already subscribed, hit that notification bell so you know when I upload another video, especially on this topic. Go ahead and do so. It doesn't cost you anything. And then check out these videos I'm posting on the screen here. There are some of my older videos. I'll try to post some videos similar to this process here where we started off with the drop tank and things like that. But go ahead, check out those videos. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will talk to you soon.